Hello, Arnell. Good evening.
I think they have. Uh, guys, are you having some technical difficulties? So there is an emoji that you can use. If you're shy, you can just use that. Can you do a demo for that, Homer? There we go. Okay, there you go. Let's go ahead and open recent. Where is the demo cluster? Downloads. Okay. All right. Everybody seeing my monitor, my screen right now? I hope do. I hope
Sorry,
so.
I'm on mute, but yeah,
Okay. All right.
you
Perfect.
can see it well.
Good job. All right. So this is a weekly challenge. Usually, weekly challenges from the community shows us the data that is being provided, but I have to run it first. All right. Okay. So just like this one. So we are going to treat the weekly challenge just like we are treating a client or the person who is availing our services for the data services. All right, so right now the client, which is the community Alteryx, provided us two data sets. All right, so just keep in mind that doesn't matter, or sometimes clients do give us data that we do not need in processing what the output that they actually require. All right. So not all data, remember that not all data is required. And you have to pinpoint what specific data in the data set that they have provided that which we need to acquire the output that we have. So right now, the client provided us two data sets. As you can see here, the first data is provided as a data with four fields or four columns as for those who are working in Excel. So we have the movie ID, the title,
Shan,
yeah.
sorry. I don't know. It's just me. I'm just seeing
Ah,
the
yeah.
meat.
The
Alteryx isn't being
Are you showing the?
on
I
screen yet.
Oh,
you cannot see the Alteryx. All right, hang on.
yep, yep.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Sorry about that. Hang on. Window. Entire screen. Okay, it plays into default. Sorry about that. All right. Can you see my Alteryx now?
Yep.
All
Yes.
right, okay. So I'm only using one screen right now, so I cannot see any head gestures, all right? So when I ask something, I need you guys to answer, all right? Verbally, okay? So, all right, so here is the challenge. So just to orient people who haven't done any weekly challenge, this is how it shows. It gives you a briefing like weekly challenge number, the title, and what is needed and the data input that we are going to use to acquire the output that is needed. So just like here, we have two data sets. So the first data that we have, as you can see, we do have four fields or four columns, and that's movie ID, title, cast, and crew. And on the second data set that was given, we have 20 fields. All right, so we really cannot see everything, but if we click the metadata, as everyone or some of those who are already used to Alteryx, you can see the summaries of the okay, see the summaries of the the data column. All right, so we have a budget, genre, homepage, ID. I think this is still the ID as in the movie ID. Keywords, original language, title, overview, popularity, and so on. All right, going back to the data as is. So this is what we have, and the client. requires us first which 10 movies has the highest budget. They gave us a sample, and this is the sample output. Actually, this is the output needed. All right. They need two fields for the first requirement. The first column or the first field is the title, followed by the budget itself. The second one is which 10 movies generated the highest profit. And as you can see here, it already provided the profit amount, which is revenue minus budget. And lastly, how many different languages are spoken across all movie datasets? We have here 27, but like all other challenges, sometimes it doesn't provide the accurate number. So let's see how many really we can acquire from the data provided. So first things first, we can go ahead and start which 10 movies has the highest budget. All right, we need the title and the budget. And checking the data that we have, budget falls, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on, having some challenges here. Okay, so I think budget falls here on the second one. All right, we have the budget here at first glance, and also the title, original title of the movie. Who wants to throw in the first tool that we can use in acquiring the output needed?
Just for the budget,
Yeah, so budget and um, we're answering the first one.
each
So
10 movies.
what was that, Homer?
Okay. No, no, no. I'm just reading the
Okay, all right. So some of you are wondering there is an exclamation here. Sean, I think there's something wrong with the data. No, it's normal. So exclamation or a warning sign doesn't mean that there is really a problem. All right, it's just that there are data in the data sets that are very, very long. So as everyone know, if you are playing with strings, Alteryx has a limitation in showing strings per cell. Okay, so that's perfectly normal. All right. So why don't I throw in the first tone? All right. So I think I'm going to use the select tool. This is under the preparation tool tab of our tool section above the Alteryx interface. And I call this the blue tools. All right. So this is the select tool. This is the check one. And I would just like to remind everyone that Alteryx is very smart. And the tools are placed there alphabetically. All right. As you can see here under the preparation tab, start with autofill and it ends with unique tool. And everything is in alphabetical order. Just like in and out, we start with browse, we end with text input, and so forth. All right, FYI. So I'm going to connect. So let's go ahead and make this bigger so people can see. So I just dragged it. So I just click the output anchor from our data, second data, and just dragging it there. It's already connected. And as you can see here, here are the columns that we have from our data set. So I just need two. I just need the title, and I just need the budget, and I need the title to be on top. So there you go. And when I run this, so far so good. I think we're on the right track. This is the output that we need, and I just pulled in this one. All right. So just to make sure, as you can see here, this is the type. So that means even though we are seeing numbers on the budget column, um, it is read as string or non-numerical character. So we need that in, maybe we really need that in a numerical, no, numerical data type. So what I'm going to do here is I'm still in the select tool. I'll just go ahead and click this one on the configurations pane or window of our select tool. So you can see here there are different types of data or different types of data sets. We have the boolean, the numbers here, and we have the numbers and the date. And spatial object would be for the advanced certification. You can go ahead and deal with that later on if you want guys to discuss that in the user group. But right now, what we're doing right now is I need to have this under the double type of data. So once I run this, so again, other than clicking the run button at upper right um, part of our screen, you can go ahead and hit Control R on your keyboard to run the workflow. I have already. And what makes me, why am I sure that it was already corrected other than the pane here or the indication here? If I proceed to the metadata, then you can see there that it's already double. All right. So who wants to go next? Remember the one that we need is 10 movies had the highest budget.
Sorry.
Sort. All right. So let's go ahead and see. Can you help me configure the sort tool? All right. The sort tool is still under the blue tools or the preparation tab. It's here. I always call this the snowman that is laying down or Olaf that is resting. All right, so here's the tool. Other than dragging the output connection from the output anchor of the previous tool, we can also just have the next tool near so that we can connect them. Other than that, what we can also do is do a right click and then insert in connection. We can also do that. And as you can see here, here are the subtabs that we can see on top. And if we go, this is also alphabetized or in alphabetical order. And if you click the preparation tool, you can see here other tools that you have. If I click sort, then it's going to add another sort tool. Okay, deleting would be easy. I'll just click the first one that I dragged in, and I'll just hit the delete button from my keyboard, and we have this. So going back, can you please help me configure our sort tool here?
It would be sorting the budget from
All right.
descending
Okay.
order.
So he's asking for the budget column to be placed here, and instead of the ascending, he mentioned that we are going to use the descending order type. So keep in mind that we also have options here if you are using other languages. Um, if you're sorting character non-numerical characters, like for example, if we are going to sort the first column, which is in words, the title of the movies, we have here, and oh, we have Philippines, yay! So we have different types of category of what dictionary is going to be used. But right now we don't need that because we are dealing with numbers. So once I hit the run button, mm, all right, and we have this. So how are we going to know the difference? Clicking the input anchor. Uh, input anchor, we have Avatar, Pirates, and Spectre as the first three, remembering that. If we click the output, it has different top three movie titles. So that made it a difference. Another way for you to see if you're in the tool itself or the recent tool, and if you want to see the changes here in your result windows for those who are not yet that much into exploration Alteryx, you have on your left pane of the results window, you have the same button or anchors. So as you can see here, the input, this is the input button on the tool, current tool, which is the sorting tool, and also the output. All right. So it seems that we have that correct, but we just need to limit this into 10. So anybody would like to continue? How are we going to limit this one?
Mm, is it? Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Mm, sample.
Sample. You mean hang on. Let me just have that here. Sample tool, this one. Can you help me with the configuration of the sample tool?
Then first 10 rows.
Okay. All right. So this is the configuration of the sample tool. For those who are not familiar with the sample tool, this is the configuration. So as was mentioned, we're just going to limit this to a 10. So as you can see here, the sample method. So first n rows, last n rows, skip first n rows. The n represents the number that we place here. All right. So let's go ahead and see. Once we run that, mm, all right. I think we got it. Uh, I hate small screen. Sorry, I'm using the laptop right now. Okay, I think we got it. So we have Pirates of the Caribbean, and the last one, I do not agree with this. Half Blood Prince, really? Harry Potter should be on top. But anyway, yeah. So on Stranger Tides and then Prince. And we have the same one. So we have the first one or the first requirement out of the way. The next one that is needed is which 10 movies generated the highest profit. And what is needed as an output is this one, title and profit. So a we are already given some clues on how to do this. So I think we're still sticking with the second data set if I'm not mistaken. So let me just go ahead and hide this so that when we run the workflow, it won't run again because we know it's already correct. And I can go ahead and rename this solution number one. All right, so profit. How are we going to start that?
Select again. Budget title. What do you call this? Budget title revenue.
Okay, all right, so we have what was that? Original title, budget, and then revenue. Is that right?
Yep.
Revenue budget. All right, good job. And then let's go ahead and hang on. Okay. All right. So we've unchecked the columns that we don't need, and let's go ahead and just move them. What was that? Budget and revenue, but no revenue minus
Yep.
budget. Okay, there. Okay. All right. So I think we got the data that we need from the original data, and checking the metadata. Since we're doing mathematical computation here, we really need to change the strings or the string data type to double again, just like what we did earlier. Okay, since this is a computation, anybody would like to suggest a tool wherein we can do the computation?
We can do formula.
All right, thanks. So formula is still under the preparation tool, and again, we don't need to do complicated stuff. We don't need to use complicated tools in the Alteryx palette, so long as we can do the output or produce the output um, in the how the client needs it, then that's perfectly fine. We don't need to impress them. They don't know the back end on what we're doing. What they are just concerned is the output that we are going to produce. All right. Okay. So here's the formula tool. Jel, can you help me configure the formula tool?
Ah, yes. It could be for the select column, you could just put either revenue or budget
Revenue and
for
budget.
replacing either of them.
Oh, okay. So we're going to do replacing. All right. So what
Yeah.
is Jello is what he means is that we have options. So what we're doing here is we are actually going to produce the output needed already. We can create another column for the output,
Ah, yeah,
uh,
we can add
and
that
we
column.
can and we can just go ahead and override what he had mentioned. So for started, we can do that what he mentioned, but for starters, since some of our us who are joining is not that really proficient yet when it comes to doing things, so we can go ahead and just add a column first. All right, and as you can see there, once I've hit profit, all right, so once I hit the add column, it is asking for a name. So it's just asking me what is the name of your new column. All right. So that's it. And then this is the space we are going to create our computation. So Jal, how are we going to do the computation for this?
So the formula for profit is budget minus revenue. Is that correct?
Let's see.
From the instructions,
Revenue minus budget.
revenue minus budget. Yeah.
Okay, how are we going to have that here?
So square brackets and square brackets budget, or is it was it revenue?
Revenue.
Sorry,
It's
yeah,
revenue.
revenue.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So you can just press enter, and then minus,
Mm-hmm.
and then budget.
Okay, what's happening here, guys? All right, brackets here represents or indicates that, okay, we're telling Alteryx if we are placing brackets, we are looking for columns or engine types. But we are not going to deal with the green types here. We're just going to deal with the columns first. So that's the blue ones here, which is the original title, revenue, and budget. All right. So if we don't know how to do that in displacing brackets, you can look you can look for your columns here on the side. This X1 provides you the existing columns, and you can just click that and it will give you the same effect. All right, so how are we to know if we have the correct formula? So you can see here the data preview, it will give you the first one, the first line. In this case, this one is for avatar, if I'm not mistaken. This one is for avatar's budget. Okay, and any other modification or configuration that we need to do here, Angelo?
For the data type, it
Good
should
job.
be double.
Okay, all right. So remember, guys, if you're going to do a mathematical computation, be sure to be aware that you need to change the data type, especially if the output you'll be using that again for another mathematical computation. All right, because if we did not, or if Angelo did not place there a notice that, hey, this is in string, so we need to change that in double. So this data type here is asking you for the outputs, your outputs data type, the output that is going to be provided under the new column or the fourth column that we're going to produce today, which is named profit. And let's go ahead and run that. All right. Okay. See? So avatar profit is 255096587. If we go back to the configuration, you can see there that that is the data preview. All right. Okay. So we're done we were able to produce a profit for this is for all of the movies that we have on the list. But what is needed is which 10 movies generate the highest profit. Who wants to go next? No brave soul? Angela, would you like to continue?
Yeah. uh, Besides sample, we could also use select records for
Select records. Okay.
yeah.
So this is a bit complicated. All right. So this is like still in the basic. When you take the certification or for the core certification, as everyone knows, we do have certification for Alteryx. So we have the base one is the core, the blue one, and the green one, which is the advanced. The select record is still part of the core certification, but when you're on your data learning or Alteryx learning journey, it really is not yet introduced at the primary or the first part. Okay, so since but it's a good point since we already use the sample tool. How about we use a different kind of tool? All right, so Jal, how are we going to configure this one?
So it should be -10.
Minus 10. Remember, this is top. And are we sure we are going to already get the top 10?
Oh, it's not yet sorted. I forgot.
All right.
It is it? Yeah, it's not yet sorted.
It's not yet sorted. All right. Perfect. And so we just need to add a sorting tool, just like what I did earlier. I'm just going to insert a connection here just for people to get used to it. So again, I just did a right click on that. And then just to speed things up, what we're going to rank here is a profit. And like what we did on the first task, it's just sending. When I run this, the output on the select records would be Ben Garcia. Oh, okay. So the output would be the arrange ranked title. Okay. All right. So let's see if we have. So this is the output. The first one is Avatar ending with Iron Man. So let's see. Okay, we have Avatar and Iron Man. And to clean things up, we'll just go ahead and remove this time the revenue and budget. So, quick question, why are we not removing the revenue budget beforehand or even before the tools, the other tools?
It won't when you try to compute it, it won't be available.
Exactly, yeah. So only existing columns prior to the tool is going to take effect. If we remove the tools before we actually did the formula, then the revenue and budget will not appear. As you can remember, when we did the formula in existing columns, it only registered three columns. The columns that we actually pre-selected prior amongst the 20, if I'm not mistaken, amongst the 20 fields or columns that we have. All right, so it seems that we're wrapping up quickly here. So we're down with two and one more to go. So solution two. All right. So last one. All right. I think this is going to be a challenge for everyone. How many different languages are spoken across all movies in the data set? This is the output, but may I remind you, this number is really, most of the time, they would trick us. Of all the time, the years that I've been doing weekly challenge, it's always been like, hey, surprise, it's not the correct number. So, as a data analyst, when you're doing data for a specific client, it's your responsibility. Like, hey, client, you gave us 27, but we've checked there are this. number of languages only. So we're not sure if where the 27 you got the 27. All right. So let's start off. They say languages. Um let's see, where is the language here? Original language, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we have original language, but what we need is the languages, all the languages, if I'm not mistaken. Original languages. Okay, hang on. So the question is languages. Different language spoken. All right. Do we have a spoken languages here? Okay, let's see. Here, 15. We have. So it's not the original language that we need, but we need the column 15. So spoken languages. Here. So just to give you a preview on what is the content of this is how it's written. So as you can see, they are not really words. So we have English, which is a default, but there are tokenized, or there are like came from different language or something. Like for France, I think it did not identify other um, characters from other languages. So English is still here. Um, I think this is Turkish. I'm not sure. And we have another one here, and so forth. So we need to count the uniqueness of those. Anyone has a suggestion or an idea? How are we going to start with this one?
I think for that one, we need it's look like a JSON format, so we need to break that per element, or maybe we can divide it or convert to
All right. Can you
column.
Okay, so can you suggest a tool for that?
Yeah, probably I'll suggest the JSON tool.
JSON tool. All right. So I have no idea where this he is this the one? JSON parse?
Yes, I
All
believe
right.
so.
Okay. Can you help me with the configuration of this? I can see here configuration of the JSON tool it's asking for a column, and we
Yeah.
need the spoken languages. All right. And include in output. And what else? How which one are we going to choose here?
Maybe we can try it to run to see the actual output of that data. So if they can break that fields into per
Okay.
elements
Okay.
per
We have, yeah. I'm seeing the configuration here. And so we've chosen the column spoken languages, and I just click the include in output. So below that, we have other options like output values into single string field, output values into data type specific field, honest JSON field, or flatten array. Which of this will do the give the output that we need?
almost forget on what would be the correct option that we need to select.
Can we try to run it, Sean?
Okay, all right. I'm going to choose the first one. So while we're trying or doing a run test for the JSON tool, anyone has the other suggestions for this? All right. So this is what we have, and while we're running, so we're running the first option. JSON string. All right. So we have JSON value string for the first one, and English as Espanol. Um, but it's providing like four columns for each movie. So it
Yeah,
actually,
yeah. It's look like on the fields JSON underscore name.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
No
it
worries.
already
All right. So maybe we can go ahead and filter the JSON
right.
name. So I'm
Yes,
going to filter the JSON name according to the,
name.
yeah, I'm going to run that. Let's see.
Maybe let's configure contains.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe let's compare instead of equal.
Mm-hmm.
Just uh, I believe there's contains.
Contains, okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Then
see.
let's
I'm
remove
just,
zero that
okay. I'm just curious. So let me just,
because the zero one it's increment per JSON. So
JSON string, JSON value string, group. Okay. So we have the uniqueness on that and group. Okay, hang on. Okay, so this is what he means, the names. So that's why we can go ahead and remove the 0 point and just retain the name.
yes.
Okay,
So that's one of the option, or we can do a formula to remove the number that
that's perfectly fine.
just
Let me just remove the cell viewer here. Okay, all right. So we now have this, and so we have the perfect the values or the words itself.
okay.
So you just
Yeah.
have to know the unique number
Yep.
on
So
this.
we can do a summarize
Okay,
group for
and
then count something like that. Okay. Yeah,
we can
we
just go
can
ahead
add
and
group
group by,
then
and then
additional.
okay, we have 57. We only have 57, guys. All right. So the client provided, hey, we have, there should be 27, but no, we have 57. So I'm just adding an additional one, but we don't need to do that because the output for the summarize tool already provided the number of records. But just in case, so there, we have 57. Just to be sure, let's go ahead and do a data cleansing. So data cleansing tool
Yeah.
will enable us to remove any null and rows. We don't need this one. We just need to clarify if we have any nulled ones. All right. Yes, it's still 57. Thank you so much for that. That is very insightful and very helpful. So yeah, so the tool that we use to parse or remove what we needed is the JSON field. So so that's the thing that we did, and it actually eliminated all the unwanted characters and produced number 57. All right. So I'm not really sure why it's 27, but yeah, it's 57 from our end. So we can fight and die for that number. All right. Okay. So any questions, guys? We actually have a blank here. I wonder why do we have a blank? Uh, strings, white spaces. Why do I have? Do we have a blank? Run means that we have an unknown character. S-
Maybe we can add a browse tool so we can uh, see the overview, the views.
yeah. Hang on. Go on. Hang on. The blank is not here. Hang on. Let me. This is in alphabetical order. Let's go ahead and have this in alphabetical order. Uh, sort and setting. Okay, so it's actually the first one, and it's really blank. Uh, it doesn't have any content. Cell value, it doesn't have. So I'm not sure why it is not being eliminated. Hang on. Let me try another one. 56. So it's just an empty space. So there's really nothing in it. So 50, we have 56 on our record.
Is that the only option, or I mean, the question just to count unique language, or is there any additional condition to
Um,
get
you mean other options that we have? Is that right?
on the question? So he's looking only for the unique.
Yeah.
I
How
mean,
many different languages are spoken? So it's just the unique one. All right. Thank you so much for that. That is very helpful. So for those other um some actually I we do have like under the parcel we do have the regex. So anybody has used regex before?
yes, of
Uh,
course. Yeah, we
okay.
did before, but
Okay.
it's really uh, difficult things.
Yeah. So yeah, he is true. Regex is like speaking a new language, but let's see. One good thing about the regex tool in the regex tool in Alteryx is it will help you understand what you're doing. All right. So let's see if we can do some magic here as well. Um, no. Let's go ahead and see tokenize and tokenize. And should I split this? Hang on. Let me just make this smaller because okay. Here we go. There. All right. Okay. So I'm trying to do one on the spot here just to see if we still have 2 more minutes. So this is the regex tool, and we have regular expression. Sean, where in the world would I see that? So you can see here, it has already a step-by-step guide. Like here, complete Perl 5 regex syntax. So you can accept, what I understand here is 5 regex syntax. And again, I've only used this like 5 times in my entire life using Alteryx. So see here the plus button. It already has a guide for you on what are you trying to do with your life with regex, or if you don't have any idea. All right, what I do know is what you need to do here is analyze your data. All right, what I noticed so far when we were doing the thingy is this one. Let me go ahead and expand this. All right. So as you can see, it has an abbreviation. For English, it has EN. For France, this cannot be read, so it has an FR. Slovakia is SK. We have Svenska SV. So it has an abbreviation, and I think that is unique as well with the languages, and I think we can invest on that. So what I would like to do is ask Reg S to just get um the two letters or the abbreviation, and you can get those by the identifier, the double quotation, if you notice that. So I'll go ahead and start with that give me the data that is enclosed in a double quotation, and then I can go ahead and, since you've all noticed that they are in lower caps, um I am going to choose here lower caps letter. Hang on. Lower caps. Where is that? Here we go. Lowercase letter, I mean. So it's just one. Sean, just the one. We need two. Then we can go ahead and double that. We can get two. Okay. We can get two, one, two, and then enclose that in the quotation. Uh, okay. And I'll just pray that this works. So once we have that, um, it would give me all the data that has a quotation. And for my end, all I can do is use a summarize tool and just get the distinct ones by grouping them. And I'm not sure if it's going to produce a different number than we have earlier, which is I think 56. And let's go ahead, and I'm going to conclude that there would be nulls here. Let's see if there's nulls. Sort. Okay. There is. So there's a null value that I can just use a data cleansing tool. Um, but we did that already. So let's go ahead, and I already have the filter tool here. It's not null. So we just need the ones that are not nulls. Okay. Alright, here we go. Here are the list. And we have 80. So we have 57 on the first tryout with the JSON. And we have a total of 80 here. So I'm not sure which is which, but just give me time, guys. I'm going to post this in our community, and you can do it as a reference. And for those who are on the call, you can, and who doesn't have an Alteryx in their own computer and would like to upload an answer on the weekly challenges, you can just do a screenshot. I can provide a screenshot on our community Alteryx after, just give me until maybe tomorrow, and then you can use the screenshot answer, and as well as um, I can upload the workflow as well. So that concludes. We have different answers. I'm not sure how are we going to do about that, but we have 80 on the parse one with the regex, and for the JSON, of course, we have 56. All right. So, any questions while still online? Let me go ahead and stop my screen share here. All right, and that concludes our session for the weekly challenge. We have 1 hour, which is actually a minimum, yeah, a maximum of 1 hour for weekly challenges. Any questions?